Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to do something a little different, something that could totally change how you revise. We're going to crack open a real GCSE biology exam question and decode it, not with a textbook, but with the examiner's own secret weapon, the official mark scheme. I mean, it's the one question every student asks, right? What does the examiner actually want? Well, forget all the guesswork. Today, we're getting the definitive answer by breaking down question 1 from an AQA Biology higher tier paper using their own marking guide. And to do this, we're going straight to the source. On one side, we have the official AQA exam paper, and on the other, the real prize, the final mark scheme for that paper. This document right here is our roadmap to understanding exactly what gets you those precious marks. Okay, let's dive in. So, first things first. Before we can even get to the answers, we need to really understand the challenge. Let's take a look at the core puzzle the exam paper sets up in question 1. And here it is, our starting point. This diagram of a DNA molecule is the puzzle at the heart of the entire first question. Every single mark we're about to chase comes from understanding this image right here. All right, let's get into it and tackle the first set of questions. These are all focused on the structure of that molecule you just saw. And we're going to use the mark scheme to build the perfect answer, step by step. First up, question 1.1. This one's asking us to kind of zoom out from this single molecule and name the much bigger structure that these long strands of DNA create. And boom, here's our first peek inside the examiner's head. The top tier answer is chromosome. But check this out. The mark scheme shows that chromatid, gene, or even allele would also get you full marks. This is exactly why knowing the mark scheme is so powerful. It gives you options. Okay, next up, question 1.2. This one drills down into the details. It's pointing to that pentagon shape in the DNA's backbone and asking, what does that represent? The answer is sugar. Simple enough. You could also write deoxyribose or pentose and still get the mark. But here's the really critical part. The mark scheme explicitly says, do not accept ribose. Wow. This is a massive clue. It shows that one wrong word, even one that sounds really similar, means you lose the mark. Precision is everything. Okay, so the question now moves from the backbone to the rungs of that DNA ladder. It's asking for the general name for the parts they've labeled A, C, G, and T. So the correct term is base or bases. And again, just look at the flexibility the mark scheme gives you. You could be more technical and write nitrogen as bases, or you could even just list all 4 of them out. It's a perfect example of how the mark scheme provides this incredible safety net if you can't remember that one perfect term. Now, question 1.4 is a little different. This isn't just about remembering a name. It's about applying a core rule of biology to complete the diagram yourself. This is an application question. And here's the rule you absolutely have to know, no excuses. Adenine always pairs with thymine, A with T, and cytosine always pairs with guanine, C with G. And the mark scheme is ruthless here. All 4 required for the mark. Get just one wrong and you get 0 points. It's all or nothing. Okay, we've covered the structure. Now let's unpack the processes that DNA is involved in. The questions are about to shift from what it is to what it does, from replication right through to inheritance. Right, question 1.5. It describes the process where the DNA molecule splits down the middle to make copies of itself. This is a fundamental process in biology, and the examiner is looking for one very specific single word: replication. Now we're really connecting the dots, from the DNA molecule to its actual function. A gene codes for a specific sequence of amino acids to make a protein. And as you can see, the mark scheme also allows for polypeptide, which is another technically correct term. Good to know. And now for question 1.7, a quick bit of math. It asks for the mass of DNA in a typical human body cell. There's absolutely no room for error on this one. The mark scheme requires the exact answer, 3 × 10 to the power of -12 grams. And here we go, the final part of question 1. It asks for the name of the type of cell division that produces gametes. You know, sex cells. The one-word answer they're looking for is meiosis. So let's just pause for a second. We've just gone through that entire question using the mark scheme as our guide. What have we actually learnt from this? What do examiners really want? You know, the biggest lesson here is that the mark scheme is so much more than an answer key. It's your guide to exam technique. We saw that precision is vital. Sugar gets a mark, ribose doesn't. We learned that knowing the alternatives can give you a safety net. You absolutely have to nail those fundamental rules like base pairing. And when you see a do not accept warning, you have to treat it as an absolute rule. This whole exercise just proves you have to read every single word. So the final question is really over to you. How are you going to use mark schemes to study smarter? This process of dissecting questions like we just did isn't just revision, it's training. Because in an exam, it's not just about what you know, it's about proving it on the page. Use this tool and you'll be one step ahead. Thanks for watching.